The art of problem solving, an important skill for all students taking algebra. We are going to walk you through how do we solve problems by defining variables, writing expressions, relating them in the equations. Our procedure is simple. We'll begin with set of questions in increasing difficulty levels so that you understand each and every step. And then we are going to have multiple sets for you to practice. So let's now begin with solution of word problems. Enjoy the journey of learning with Anil Kumar. Also look for our special offers. So let us begin with the very first problem in this set and see how do we solve word problems after defining the variables and writing relevant equations. Question number 1 here is, the sum of two numbers is 90. The difference between them is 18. Find the numbers. So it says sum of two numbers is 90. So we'll first define our numbers. Let the numbers be x and y. In that case, the sum is 90. So that becomes our first equation. The second statement is the difference between them is 18. So x minus y equals to 18. So that becomes our second statement. So now we have two variables and two equations we can solve and find their value. Best way here is, since you see plus y and minus y, if I add the two equations, so if I add equation 1 with equation 2, what do I get? X plus x is 2x, y minus y is 0, so I'm not writing it, and 90 plus 18 is 108. And therefore, we can get the value of x equals to half of 108, which is 54. So we have found first number, which is x is equal to 54. We can use one of these equations to find y. So we know that x plus y equals to 90, means y is equal to 90 minus x, which is 90 minus 54. And so we get the value of y, which is 10 take away 4 is 6, 8 take away 5 is 3, 36. So we get our solution. So we can write down the solution, which is x equals to 54 and y equals to 36. You can also check that their difference will be 18. So I hope the steps are absolutely clear. Now let's take up the second question, which is very similar. The sum of two numbers is 81. Difference between them is 11. Find the numbers. So clearly you can write down the equations. X plus y, begin with the let statement, is 81 and x minus y is 11. Solve these equations by adding, find the value of x and then find the value of y, as we did in question number 1. Here is question number 3, which is also very similar. The sum of two numbers is 62. Difference between them is 38. So this time x plus y is 62 and x minus y is 38. So you can once again solve them, get your answer. Not difficult at all. So now you have understood the basic steps. Let's complicate the statements a bit more. 3 times a number is equal to twice the other number. So we have changed the statement, made it slightly more complicated. So we are talking about two numbers. Let's define them, which is let the numbers be x and y. Defining variables is very important. It also gives you communication marks. Now the first statement is 3 times a number is equal to twice the other number. So 3 times a number means 3 times x, any one of them, right? 3 times a number equals to twice the other number, equals to twice the other number, which is y. So we get our first statement. Second, sum of the number is 15 means x plus y is 15. Find the two numbers. Now in this particular case, we might use slightly different process of solving a pair of equations. Now this pair of equations is also called simultaneous equations. We'll solve this by substitution method. So from here, equation 2, we can say that x is what? X is 15 minus y, so we get our equation 3. Now we are going to substitute the value of x in our first equation. So we'll write sub 3 in 1. So that means what we are going to get 3 times x, and the value of x is 15 minus y. Clear? Is 2y. Now that results in one equation with just one variable y, which we can now find. Clear? So let's apply the distributive property. 3 times 15 is 45 minus 3y equals to 2y. 45 equals to 2y plus 3y. 45 equals to 5y. 45 over 5, solving equations is an easy process. If you need help, we'll provide you with a link where I have very good videos on how do we solve equations. So we get 9 as a value of y. Clear? Once you get 9 as a value of y, you can find x by using equation 3. Perfect. So let's find the value of x. So x is 15 minus y, which is 15 minus 9, which is 6. So we have our answer, and the solution is x equals to 6, y equals to 9. Is that clear to you? You can see that their sum is 15, right? So that is how we can solve question number 4. Now I hope you're ready for slightly more complicated cases. So here is another question, which is the larger of two numbers is 8 more than the smaller. If the larger number is added to 3 times the smaller number, the total is 36. Find the numbers. So in this case, we can actually solve the problem with one variable also and two variables also. So let's do it with two variables as we have done so far. So we'll say x and y are variables. So that becomes a let statement. We have defined the variables. The larger of the two numbers is 8. So we are assuming x is greater than y. So larger of the two numbers is 8 more than smaller. So we get our first equation, which is x equals to 8 more than smaller, y plus 8. Then it says, if the larger number is added to 3 times the smaller number, the total is 36. Larger number is added to 3 times the smaller. Means larger number is x plus 3 times smaller number is y. We get 36. You get the idea? So that becomes our equation 2. So we have two equations. Forming equation is slightly tricky at this stage, but as you go through our set of videos, we have at least 10 sets here for you. You will understand the whole process. Well, those of you who want to learn directly from me can send an email to globalmathinstitute@gmail.com. Our students are getting admission to the best universities because of their great foundation. Now, let us see how do we solve it further. Now, x is y plus 8, x plus 3y is 36. So we can substitute the value of x from 1 to 2, right? So we'll say sub 1 in 2. If you do that, x is y plus 8, we get y plus 8 plus 3y equals to 36. Now, y plus 3y is 4y. We'll take 8 to the other side, constant. And so we get 4y equals to 36 minus 8. 16 minus 8 is 8 and we get 28. Dividing 28 by 4, we get the value of y, which is 28 divided by 4, that is 7. Once you find y, you can use equation 1 and find the value of x, which is y plus 8, right? So which is 7 plus 8 or 15, right? So we get our solution. X is equal to 15 and y is equal to 7. Is that clear to you? Slightly difficult question, but if you read carefully, define your variables, it is not very difficult to answer. Let's look into the last question of this set. It says, the sum of two numbers is 54. Twice the smaller number is 9 more than the larger. Find the numbers. So again, our variables are x and y. For the numbers, correct? So different kind of let statements you can always write. Now, the sum of two numbers is 54, means x plus y is 54. Twice the smaller means 2 times x. Twice the smaller is 9 more than the larger. So it is 9 more than the larger. So we are saying y is greater than x, right? So twice the smaller is 9 more than the larger. Perfect. So we get our equation. Now, in this case, what we will do is 2x equals to y plus 9, and the first one is x plus y is 54. Now, from the first one, we can isolate y. Correct? So we get y equals to 54 minus x. We'll call this as our equation number 3. First two are given to you. And we are going to substitute this value of y in 2. Is that okay? And that was our equation 1. So we get what? We get 2x equals to the y value of 54 minus x, and we get plus 9. Is that clear to you? So what we did here, we substitute 3 in 2. So there are different ways of solving simultaneous equation. That is a pair of linear equations. Now bring x to left hand side. So you get 2x plus x equals to 54 plus 9. And now we can solve for x. Clear? So 2x plus x is 3x. And 54 plus 9 is 63. Okay? So x will be 63 by 3. So x is equals to 21. So we got the value of x. Now we can find what y is, since we know y is 54 minus x. So we get the value of y as 54 minus x, which is 54 minus 21, which is, when you take away 3 and 3. So y is 33. So we get our answer. X is 21 and y is 33. Make sense? So with that, we have solved all the 6 problems, and I hope you have understood the strategy of solving word problems. Feel free to write your comment, share your views. If you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for your valuable time and all the best.